Hi everyone! In this video, I am going to be reviewing a book that I recently finished and thoroughly enjoyed, and the title of this book is 101 Miracles of Natural Healing, and it was written by Luke Chan. It says, truly inspirational stories of 101 individuals who miraculously recovered from cancer, diabetes, arthritis, paralysis, heart disease, severe depression, systemic lupus, and many other chronic illnesses. Discover the exercise practiced daily by 8 million people. So this is a photograph of some of the people that were healed of their diseases using the method in this book. So before I explain to you how I came across this method and how I came across this book, let me share with you a little bit about the founder and the author. This book was published in 2003, but the interviews were actually conducted, I believe, in the 90s, because the people are referencing the 80s and before the 80s. But the method is called Qilao Qigong, also known as Jineng Qigong, and the founder of it is Grandmaster Pang Ming, MD, reverently known as Lao Shi, which translates as the teacher. And he has written more than 9 Chinese books on Jineng Qigong. I don't know if he's still alive, and I have a difficult time finding his books, so if you know where to find Pang Ming's books, please let me know because I want to read them. So this is Pang Ming. And what I find so interesting about this man is that every photograph I see of him, he is just glowing. He is radiating so much joy and so much chi that whenever I see him smiling, I just want to smile myself. And some of the people in this book mention that when he touched them, they were automatically healed because he emanated so much chi, which is life force. The author, Luke Chan, the first Qilao master to be certified outside China by Jineng Qigong Center, has practiced Qigong and Tai Chi for 30 years. His books include 101 Lessons of Tao and Secrets of the Tai Chi Circle, Journey to Enlightenment. So this is Luke Chan, Master Luke Chan, and he also has a YouTube channel. This is a younger photograph of him, so he's older now, but he also has a YouTube channel, which I'm going to put in the description box below. So make sure that you either go visit his channel or subscribe to his channel because he has a lot of valuable information on there. Also a disclaimer, if I pronounce any words incorrectly, I sincerely apologize. This is not my first language, so if I butcher some words, I did not do it as mockery or on purpose. If you know how to correctly pronounce the words, please put it in your comments below. So, about this book and how I came to find this book. This actually, what got me interested in this was actually YouTube. About a year or 2 or 3 ago, maybe 2-3 years ago, I came across a video by an author who writes a lot about quantum healing, other dimensions, aliens, all sorts of different things. I don't know what his name is, but in his video, he was giving a seminar to a large audience. And in the video, he decided to show them video footage, so a video and a video, of a medicineless hospital, I believe in Beijing, which is the center. And in this video, there was somebody, a patient or student, who was hooked up to an ultrasound. And there were about 3 or 4 doctors or teachers near the student, and they were chanting away the student's cancer or tumor. And you could see on the ultrasound the tumor, the cancer, shrinking and shrinking and shrinking until it had completely vanished. And the translation of what the doctors were chanting or the teachers was already done already done, already done. And when I saw that, my mind was so blown, I could not stop thinking about it for days. I had heard of hands-on healing. I had heard of Reiki. I had seen people practice Reiki and all of that, but I had never, ever seen anything like that in my life. So as a result, I decided to find out what was this method called, how could I learn it, where could I learn it, where could I find books on it, and all sorts of things. So as I went on my little internet pilgrimage, I had a couple of errors. It was longer than it should have taken, but I came across Qigong, and I thought it was all called just Qigong. I thought it was just all one thing. I didn't realize that there were different sects of Qigong. I didn't know there were different types and styles of Qigong. And as a result, I ended up finding this one in particular, which is Qi Lao. So, as I said, they interviewed, or Lu Chan interviewed 101 people in the 90s, and all of these people range different ages. Some of them are actually tiny, tiny children. Some are teenagers. Some are elderly people, but all of them across the board were either in the process of healing from their diseases, or they had been completely cured of their maladies. Some of these maladies were new. Some of these maladies were just lifelong. They were just born that way. So he traveled to the Jinneng Qigong Center in May 1995. And he said, there's 3 things that you should know about the interview. Since most of the people I interviewed were healed in the center, many of these people connect their healings directly to the center's founder, Lao Shi. This seems only natural, but it would be a mistake to conclude that these people idolize him. So that's an interesting fact for you to know, because even at the center, it wasn't a hospital, it was a center. They didn't call the people that were healers doctors. They called them teachers. There were teachers and there were students. It wasn't a type of hierarchy, it wasn't a type of elite system. Everybody had the capacity to heal themselves of their maladies if they truly put in enough practice. And he said, even though most of the miracles in these stories occurred at the center, I've been told that there have been similar occurrences with Qi Lao practitioners throughout China. And he says, some participants in my workshops in the United States have also experienced instant healing. So Qigong, Qi Lao, it is universal. It is not designated to one particular place. You don't have to go all the way to China in order to be healed of your maladies. You could literally be right at home and heal yourself of your maladies. And some of the interviews that were in this book, some of the people healed before they didn't even come to the center, I think. They were actually in a group. They were in a Qi Lao Qigong group somewhere else. And as a result, they healed themselves. And it says, the third thing, although some of these recoveries are so incredible that they almost amount to resurrections from the dead, Qi Lao is not a panacea that cures everyone. Do people die here? I asked the doctor in charge of the center. And he says, yes, some of the people did die, but they die without pain and without being drugged up. Family members are often grateful that their loved ones are able to die in such a dignified way. Now, what was common for those who did die, they had either come too late to the center, like their disease had already progressed so badly that death was inevitable, but they all died without pain, they died with dignity, and they died with peace. So I figure, if you're gonna die anyway, I try not to believe in death because I'm trying to become an immortalist. But if you're gonna die anyway, why not go in a peaceful manner? Why not go without suffering? So as I said, each testimonial comes with a photograph of the person. They share their stories. They share like how they contracted their disease or how they knew they were sick, how they came to the center. And each one of them put in some type of hard work. Some of them, or most of them. Some were actually healed instantaneously. And the reason some were healed instantaneously was because their chi was very similar to the chi at the center. So since it was like that, some of them had instant healing. Others were literally on the verge of death. They had been through hospitals. They had been through all sorts of medication, yet they were actively dying. So as a result, as a last result, they came to the center. Some of these people worked day and night practicing these exercises in order to heal themselves. What I also enjoyed that was that some of them shared the visualizations that they used in order to cure their illnesses. So let me see. I wish I could find one where, I wish I could find one where they describe, I imagine the blue sky opening, because you're supposed to have some type of visualization, usually. Like some people imagine that their tumors were shrinking and disappearing into nothingness. Others imagine their disease just traveling into the atmosphere and going away forever and bringing in new health as they were doing each exercise. One of my favorites, as you know, I'm growing back my tooth that broke off. One of my favorite is 63. A new tooth grew in an old mouth by Zhang Yan Zhao, 66, instructor trainee. Even before he reached the age of 60, most of Mr. Zhang's teeth were gone. Besides being toothless, he also relied on crutches because of severe leg pain and back pains. In addition, he had an itchy urticaria all his life. So he says, my wife and I joined a Chilel group in the park in July of 1991. At first, I felt a lot of pain because I was actually exercising my joints instead of avoiding their use in an effort to prevent pain. Gradually, the pain became less and less because Qi was lubricating my joints. A new life began to sprout out of my dead bones. Also, my skin disease disappeared as I continued to practice Qilel. My wife's high blood pressure was also cured by doing Qilel every day. We haven't felt this healthy since we were young. One day, I was surprised to find a new tooth growing in my gums. Mr. Zhang opened his mouth and showed a baby tooth to me. It's a miracle if even a tooth can grow back. It's no wonder I feel so good after practicing Qilel. I figure that the rest of my internal organs must have rejuvenated themselves, like my tooth has done, and on my head, black hairs have started coming back. So some people might be like, this is a whole cult. Like, how do you even believe this? This sounds like a gigantic infomercial. But, you know, anything is possible. Literally. Why can't a tooth grow back? Your nails grow back. Your hair grows back when you cut it. When you cut your finger, your skin, new skin grows over it. So what is the difference between a tooth? Why can't a tooth grow back? Why can't you grow back a new liver? I really enjoyed how he said, because Qi was lubricating my joints. Qi is a life force. Qi is a life force. Wherever Qi flows, matter is affected. That's what is said in this book. Wherever Qi flows, matter is affected. There was a man in this book who actually healed a cracked egg. He healed a cracked egg right before their very eyes. I wish I could find this, but I cannot find it. There's so many testimonials. One thing that I noticed was that, hold on, I'm losing my train of thought. One thing that I noticed was that sometimes when the person was doing Qilao Qigong, their illness would actually get worse. And they almost stopped doing it. But they had to keep pushing through this whole flare-ups, because qi responds differently for different people. So some, their disease lessened. Others, it got worse until it completely went away. So it reacts differently. That's why there were other people at the center. One thing about this is that a lot of them healed faster because they had other people around them. When you have all of these people emitting all of this qi, the qi is more powerful. It works faster. Some of these individuals have been doing the qi lao qigong alone, and they didn't heal as fast as they did when they were in a group. They also said that they felt this element of love. So even after many of them were cured, they didn't even want to leave. They're like, I just want to be a teacher here. And that's what they did. I'm sorry, I'm still losing my train of thought. There's just so many stories rumbling through my mind in this book. At the very end, there's a part 2, and it shares the methods. And it teaches you how to do these methods, and it also asks or answers some of the questions that you might have about some of the methods. I wish that this book came with a video. That's the only downside. I mean, they give you a photographic reference of how to do it, but for me, I'm more visual. I'm more like, I need to see you actually moving your arms so I can see if I'm doing this correctly. There's another one called wall squatting. A lot of people got cured this way using wall squatting. Other people got cured by making these law chi energy balls. And how you create this is, some of them you like rub your hands together and you have to feel the energy in between your hands. So you like make it bigger and bigger, but don't listen to my instructions. There's actually other instructions. Luke Chan has one, and Mingtong has one too. I'm going to post his link below as well. But you use this chi ball and you place it on the spots that need healing. So if you're having something with your head, you can place the energy, the chi, over your head. If it's something with your pelvis, you can place it over there. It can go anywhere. You can also send it off. Chi is, for them, they use it as technology. They even incorporated man-made technology into the healing process. Some of these people had actually known about Qigong before they came to the hospital. But what was interesting was they said, oh, I just thought it was for elderly people. I saw groups in the park practicing Qilao or Qigong, but I just thought it was for the old people. But there must be something to it. That was one thing that they said. Another was due to their job. They're like, well, it was with the spirit. It wasn't reasonable. It wasn't rational. So I didn't participate in it because you couldn't document it. It wasn't a science. And that's why some of them turned it down until the very end. Others were afraid that they would be mocked. Others were afraid that people would make them lose their jobs because they're thinking, oh, well, she's lost her mind. Like, she's doing Qilao every day. But hey, they got cured. They got cured. And some of them came to the center for one disease and didn't realize they had other diseases too. Some of the people came for one disease and they got cured of maybe 5 diseases. It's a miracle. I myself am just starting to practice Qilao Qigong, and so far I've had like kind of strange experiences. One experience is my body heats up. My body heats up very quickly, but these are very slow movements, but it heats up. Now, I do my regular exercises. I'll do my push-ups, I'll do my lunges, my squats, and all of that. And maybe after 5-10 minutes, I'll start to heat up because I'm like, oh, I'm sweating. But with Qilou Qigong, within 2 minutes, I can feel the heat in my body. And after I'm done, I'm so tired. And another thing I notice is mucus starts coming out of my body. Mucus starts coming out. So far, I'm trying to learn the basic movements of it. And once I've gotten the basic movements down, I'll add the visualizations into it. So before I go, I wanted to read to you some of the things that I think would truly add to this book, especially about this method. So it says, Qigong is a generic name for any method which involves the exercise of qi. The Chinese spell the word qi as qi. Because English-speaking people cannot pronounce Qigong, sometimes Qigong or Qigong are used instead. Dr. Peng's Qigong system, called Jineng Qigong, Jineng means intelligence, consists of many levels. The center prescribes the first level of Jineng Qigong, which consists of lift qi up and pour qi down, and 3 centers merge standing methods. For simplicity and differentiation from other Qigong methods, we call it Qilou. So when we are practicing Qilou in essence, we are saying that we are practicing Jineng Qigong. So it says that it has 4 main components: belief, organization of the qi field, facilitating qi for healing, and practice. To obtain the benefits of Qilou, there is no substitution for practice. So some of these people literally practice every single day. Every single day for hours and hours and hours until they were healed. But even after they were cured, they still kept practicing because some felt that if they stopped practicing, their illness would come back. So they just have been consistently practicing every single day. It says, Gong is a principle which states that accomplishments are the result of a long period of daily effort. Let me define Gong more simply: 100 days of consecutive practice. So if you can practice consecutively for 100 days, you have accomplished 1 Gong. Consecutive practice means that if you miss 1 day, you have to start all over again. For beginners, 15 minutes a day keeps the doctor away. Sounds simple until you try it. Now, organizing the qi field is something I'm still learning now. It says, organizing a qi field, or chu chang, means the leader of a group harmonizes the thinking of the members of a group for learning or healing. First, the leader surveys the group with his eyes, forming a boundary around the group. He then verbally relaxes the group's members from head to toe. Then he directs the group to alternately think of blue sky and then their bodies, bringing down Wanyan Qi from the sky to form a huge energy field. So I first heard of organizing the qi field in another book about Jineng Qigong. And what was interesting about this book was it said that the teacher could organize the qi field so the students could learn information faster. They wouldn't have to study. It would just get into their minds. Like, this is how powerful this qi network is. The reason I'm studying so hard, or attempting to study so hard for this, is because I truly want to heal people. I'm not a doctor. I don't have any medical background, but I want to create something here in St. Louis. I want to create a qi center or something in St. Louis if there isn't already one. I've known a lot of people that have passed away unnecessarily because they did not have the right tools. In fact, I mentioned in one of my other videos that my godbrother passed away. He passed away last month. And I think it was last month. And he had brain cancer. He was a perfectly healthy individual, and he had brain cancer. He was in the process of healing, but he listened to his doctor, and his doctor basically gave him a diagnosis that was very negative. He could have worded it in a different way. The doctor could have said, there was hope, there's still hope for you. But he basically said, well, there's nothing we can do. You're just gonna die. How can you be a brain surgeon knowing the methods of mind-body connection, knowing the power of a placebo, using the doctor's diagnosis in the patient's mind, and tell this person that they are going to die? They're only 42 years old. That's why a lot of these people in here left the hospital. They left. They're like, well, either I die here or I go here with my last hope. These Western doctors, like, because most of them use Western methods, these Western doctors, I went to them because I thought their methods were more advanced than my ancestors' methods. But now even their medicine can't heal me. So what else can I do? This is my last hope. So now I'm seeing like all of these people in my life, chemotherapy, all of these different things, when they could be healed. These doctors know. These doctors know these things. Some of them have studied in other countries. Some of them have studied alternative medicine and alternative methods of healing, but they still want to make money. You cannot call yourself a healer if you want to profit off of somebody's illness and sickness and pain. You can't do that. That is why it's better to prevent than to get it. And that's why I love this book. Even though the whole book sounds like an infomercial, you would sound like an infomercial too if you got healed of lung cancer and you were on the verge of death. Some people might say these stories are fake. I believe each and every one of these stories. I healed myself of a back problem a long time ago before I even knew about this method. And it was just with hands-on healing. I told whatever it was in my body to get out of my body, and it got out immediately. And I felt, I felt this vibration in my back, a popping, a warm rush, and my whole back was completely healed. Chi is real. Chi is real. So if you're interested in finding out more about this Qilao Qigong, I will be posting Luke Chan's YouTube channel in the description box below, so you can either go to him or subscribe and start your own little pilgrimage. There are other books about Qigong that you can use. There's also so many videos on YouTube that you can watch. You can learn the basic methods like lifting up Qi, pouring down Qi, all of these different things. So thank you for watching this video. I'm sorry it was a little long-winded, but I just was so passionate about this book. I thoroughly enjoyed reading every single page. It was very inspirational. I think I'm going to read it again, especially number 63, where the guy grew a new tooth, because that is what I'm attempting to do. So everybody have a beautiful day and happy reading to you. Bye-bye.